Hey crafty friends, it's Ashley and I'm excited to be teaming up with my friend Jen Chapin for Pinspired paper crafting this month during the month of October on every Monday. And this is our inspiration image that we're using this week. I will leave a link to the original Pinterest image below in the comment section. And this is part of the layout that I'm going to be working on, just a close up. And of course, I was inspired by the frames. I love frames on my layouts. There's been several collections lately that have had pattern papers that had frames, and I had this paper from the Chasing Dreams collection by Crepe Paper, and I really wanted to use it. And I also wanted to fussy cut these. I had already used this paper for something else, so you can see that I had cut part of it out, so I couldn't use the full sheet as is, so fussy cutting was the way to go with this paper. And I like fussy cutting because that way I can move the images, replace them wherever I want to. You'll see that I kind of cluster these together, and I'm going to add some dimension with pop dots to some of these. So being able to fussy cut any of the images that you like from a pattern paper is a great way to move them around and get a different look. And I also like having the black and white frames added to a colorful background. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. I had these two papers, the one with the pink kind of diagonal stripes, and then one that was a little more solid, kind of with some white. So I just checked both of those to see which one I thought I might want to use, and I decided to go with the pink. I like the way it just really contrasted with the black and white frames, and everything kind of goes toward the center on this pattern paper. So I add my photo right to the center, and I use that largest frame that I cut, and I sized my photo just a little bit smaller than that so it would fit right in the frame. And I'm kind of figuring out my placement for where I want the frames to go, just trying to see how they look best. And I'm kind of arranging them to where they're a little offset, so some are higher than the other ones, some are lower, and just trying to balance that out. I also wanted to add something to the frames, so I decided to hand stitch on some of these. And I'm not doing all of them, just a few, and I'm just going to do one here for you, and I'll finish all the rest of those off screen. But I just like the extra texture that it adds, and I am going to use pop dots on some of these because I want to have varying texture. So the ones that I stitch on are actually going to be the ones that I add the pop dots behind. That thread just kind of pops it up a little bit off the page, so instead of trying to use an adhesive like my tape runner or something like that, I decided just to go with the pop dots. And now I have all of those stitched, and I wanted to bring in some more pattern paper that had those colors of the embroidery floss that I stitch with. So I just grabbed a few pieces from the 6x6 paper pad that went with the Chasing Dreams collection. I'm not using my paper trimmer. I'm not really measuring very well. I'm just kind of trimming these by putting the paper next to the section of the frame that I want to fill with the pattern paper. So I've used these pattern papers a lot. I like to use my 6x6 pattern papers for little things like this and for backing cut files. So most of my 6x6 paper pads have pieces cut out of them like this one does. And this part, I initially cut this corner right here, but it had so much of the dark teal in it that I decided to recut that a little bit over where it just had a little touch of that dark color, and then the rest of it was a pink. And so those all fit perfectly. And now that I have each one of those cut, I'm going to go ahead and fill them in on the frames. And once I have that done, I'm going to start getting my frames placed on the layout. And I decided, since I was using the pop dots, that I wanted to kind of overlap some of the frames a little bit. So you'll see that I'm kind of placing them where each of the borders kind of overlap a little bit, just to kind of define that dimension that I was creating on the layout. So I'm going to add pop dots to the ones that have the embroidery floss, and then just use my tape runner to adhere the other ones. And I got these new tape runners from scrapbook.com. I will leave a link to those in the description box below. I really like them. The ones that I had been using, they were not working very well. I think they were Tombow, and I was having a lot of problems with those, just catching, and the tape was getting caught all up on itself. So I'm really loving these from scrapbook.com, and like I said, I'll leave a link to that if you want to check those out if you like using tape runners as much as I do. I have to buy a lot of those to keep in stock. And so now I have all of my frames in the place that I want them, just kind of looking to see if I want to shift anything, and I wanted to bring that one down just a little bit. And now I'm going to get started embellishing, and I have a ton of embellishments from the Chasing Dreams collection, so I just kind of grabbed everything and put it to the side, and I'm just going to go through probably several times for looking for what I want to put on this layout. And the frames are perfect for embellishing, and I always, when I get a new collection, I always try to buy at least 6 to 10 of the 12 by 12 pattern papers, and then I like to have the 6 by 6 or 6 by 8 paper pad. I like to get the chipboard sheet if it has it, and then the chipboard thickers, also the ephemera and stickers, and then if they have any embellishments like the buttons here that you see on the left hand side. So that way I have a mix of different things that I can use on my layout to create texture and dimension. And so you can see that I'm doing that here just by mixing stickers and the chipboard, and all the different things. And the little frames here, the 2 circle frames, already had a bow on them, but I found these little bows on the sticker sheet and thought that would be really cute to accent those frames. So I went ahead and just added those there over the little bow that was already there. And then these buttons already have adhesive on the back. They have a pop dot, so if you want that added dimension, you can just use those as is. If you don't, you can take that off of the back and then just use your liquid adhesive to place those onto your layout. And so you can definitely see the inspiration that I took from our inspiration photo this week, just using the frames that were over the fireplace. There are a lot of different things in that photo that you could use, just so many ideas for inspiration. I didn't want to combine ideas on this layout, so I just decided to stick with one thing, which was the shapes of the frames. So I really like the way it's coming together, and it was a perfect inspiration for this layout and the pattern papers and this collection that I'm using. So I'm still going through trying to find those last little embellishments, just looking for what I want to finish off the layout. And I go back and forth. I really liked that heart, and it fit perfectly in the frame at the bottom, so I decided to go with that there. And I like these little sticker phrases. I liked this one over the heart, but it was a little too long. It kind of matched with the sides of the frame, so I wanted it a little bit shorter, so I just trimmed off that excess on the edge. And then I'm just adding a few more of these around the layout just to kind of fill in some spaces that need some extra embellishing. And once you get finished watching my video, make sure you head over to Jen's channel. I am going to leave a link in the description box with the link to her video also, just to see the different take that she had on the Pinterest inspiration for this week. And like I said, we'll be sharing a new video every Monday except for the last Monday of October. There's actually 5 Mondays in this month, so we'll be doing 4 videos throughout October. So make sure that you check both of our channels for those new videos. And I'm just kind of finishing up a few last minute embellishments, and then I'm going to get to my date and add that with my roller date stamp from Shamil. And I also wanted to add just a little bit of black color shine sprinkles, just to kind of draw a diagonal right across the side there, just to give it a little extra kind of something. And I really liked the way that that black contrasted with all the pink and the way that that finished off the layout. So I hope you enjoyed watching my video today. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to become a new subscriber. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you liked my video, please leave a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday. So make sure you join us then. Thanks so much for watching.